Hey guys, welcome to the page. This is my current setup on my TJ. It's 2004 Jeep TJ. Pretty much my Overland setup. I got the LED lights. I got my light bar. I got my ambers, diode dynamics. Got my solar panel. I'll show you what that's connected to later. I got my Smittybilt rooftop tent. Budget friendly. Here's my Tuff awning, 6.5 by 8. Sorry, it's a little messy back here, but let's show you a little sneak peek. This is my fridge. I'll get a little more in detail. It's the ARB. So the first thing that I got going into this overland camping thing was my rooftop tent. Besides getting the actual vehicle that's capable of off-roading, the first thing I actually bought was the rooftop tent. I wanted to start going camping with me and my girlfriend at the time. Now she's my fiance, but at the time, me and my girl, I wanted to get her out and go camping, and she was like, I don't like spiders, and you know, anything that crawls on the floor, she wasn't with. So I did some research a couple of years ago before overlanding blew up, and I found the Smittybilt rooftop tent, which is probably one of the most cheapest ones on the market at the time, and probably still to this day, but it's worked wonders. I was a little skeptical. I didn't want to jump into overlanding rooftop tents and all this other stuff fresh off the bat and buy a $2-3 grand tent and not like it. So we're definitely going to upgrade in the future. We're planning on going hard shell. It helps out with the aerodynamics and lowers my roof line a little bit. Fit into the parking structures a little easier, but it's definitely been well worth it. I'm opening it up and show you guys inside, which I'm pretty sure you've seen plenty of rooftop tent reviews. I'm just going to show you it open. I'm not going to go into much detail. There's a lot of videos out there with reviews and how it looks on the inside, what size bed, compare this model versus that model. So this is the first gen Smittybilt rooftop tent. It's nothing special, it's basic, but it gets the job done and we love it. So I made these are custom mounts that I made for my rooftop tent. Now normally when you buy, I don't know about every single rooftop tent, but from what I've seen, it seems like a lot of them, they have a long bolt that drops down, and it's a flat piece of bar that goes like this, and then the bolt, you pretty much tighten both sides and it kind of clamps it up. I didn't like that. I felt like with enough rocking and shaking, especially going off-roading when I'm not using it and it's just up here, it would slide. I don't like a flat piece of metal on metal and then it goes like this. Yeah, probably with enough tension it probably won't move, but just to ease my mind, rubber on metal with enough pressure has more friction than metal on metal. So sorry guys, spider crawled on me. So I made these. Well, I didn't make them, but I bought these off McMaster-Carr. I got outdoor rubber so it wouldn't rot and made these custom brackets. It wasn't hard. I just literally had to shave down a little bit of rubber off. I used a knife, a serrated knife, and I stuck it under, and now this thing, I can put the pedal to the metal and turn it as hard as I can without flipping over, and this thing would not budge. I did it to all 4 corners, front and back, and game changer. I wish they would have made something like this on the market, because I definitely would have bought it instead of me making it, but it probably would have been cheaper than me making it. So yeah, that's what I did. All right, the second thing that we had got was the fridge. You would think it would have been the awning, but no, actually it was the fridge. It's an ARB. It's their smallest version. I think it's a 37 quart, if I'm not mistaken. Had this for a couple of years, got it on a discount, so I think I got it around $8 I say 750 to 850 bucks. Got it around there. It pretty much does what it's supposed to do: keep your food cold and keep it cold for a long period of time. Now that I don't have to plug it in to the car, I have my power bank. I can leave it on for as long as I want without worry about draining my battery and I can't start. So I definitely recommend one of these if you don't want to carry a cooler with ice. Sorry for all the messing of the stuff, but you know, got some more camping gear in there. It's been working wonders. I actually have food in there right now just to show you what it looks like. Me and my fiance went on a little date and we made some pizza. That's why I have the Coleman oven, which works wonders as well. But we got pizza and a few other things. And yeah, this is the second purchase, and the reason why I bought it because I didn't want to worry about carrying ice and having water in everything. And it worked out. It's been an investment, and it's been one of the best investments besides the rooftop tent of this overlanding stuff. Definitely recommend one, but if you can't afford it, I understand. Believe you me, it was something we had to talk about at the time. They're not cheap. There seems to be a lot more now on the market at a cheaper cost, but with a brand like ARB, and I haven't had any troubles with it, it's been wonders, and not a single issue in the 2 years that we owned it. Not a single issue. A little bit more about my fridge. For those that's thinking, oh, you're buying an $800 fridge just to go camping, you might as well just use the cooler for that couple of days or that weekend that you're going to be out. Yeah, I can see the logic, the costs and whatnot, but we don't just use this for camping. We also use it for when we go grocery shopping. Instead of worrying about, oh, the waffles or whatever TV dinners or whatever we buy, we just throw it in here and we can go the whole day without going home, because you know our food that we just bought, it's not going to go bad because it's sitting in 90-degree California weather. So it's more than one use. You don't have to go camping to use your fridge. You can use it for grocery shopping. You can use it if you're going to a party to keep the food cold, drinks. If you got ice and you're going to a party and that party is an hour away, who knows? I mean, I drove to Big Bear because we got buddies in Big Bear, and we'll bring food and stuff. You don't have to just use it for camping. There's multiple uses for these fridges. You can take them out. You can use them inside the house. If power goes out and you have a power bank like that, and you don't want to use the big fridge, more than one use. Definitely an investment. And on to number 3, which is the the third piece of the puzzle that I wanted to get. This technically wasn't our third buy, but it was definitely one of those buys that I wanted to get with my overlanding setup, was an awning. A place for us to sit down and chill underneath, to get out the sun. If it's raining, just get out the elements a little bit and cool down and have a drink, something to eat. So this is the Tuff Stuff Overland awning. It's 6.5 wide, 8 feet out. It's a tan color. It's done its job. It's beautiful. I used it probably a dozen times. It's one of the newer things I added. Haven't really tested it. Only been on one camping trip, but other than that, when we go to the beach, I use it. When we go to a park, me and my fiance had a lunch date this past Sunday, we used it at a park. So all this stuff that you buy for camping can be used more than just camping. You can use it at a picnic. You can use it at the beach. We used our rooftop tent before at the beach, but this is our Tuff Stuff awning. I'll definitely show you guys what it looks like opened up. And yeah. Alrighty guys, so my solar panel, I got this off of Amazon. It was 199 bucks, 100 bucks. I think it's pretty much the exact same one as the Renogy 100-watt solar panel. but it's a different brand. I think it's HQST, if I'm not mistaken. So 100 watt solar panel. The max I ever got was about 76 watts on a beautiful day. We was out in San Bernardino. It was pretty hot out there. We was off-roading, but I got this mounting mount, which is, I believe, is the Renogy as well, from Home Depot. I think it was like 30 bucks, and I added an extra bar to my roof rack. This is I believe this is a Smittybilt roof rack, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but I think it is. I added an extra bar. It took me a little while to get that, but I added the extra bar because I knew I wanted to do something similar to this. So once I got my mount, I figured out the dimensions I needed to drill, put my bolts. Now I got 100 watt solar running, and that 100 watt solar, if you follow along, I don't know if you can see the cables, it goes all the way to the back here. I also got this cable off of Amazon as well, and this tubing to protect the wires. This goes all the way. It's a 10-foot cable all the way to my EcoFlow. Now I have the EcoFlow Pro, and I can tell you guys, this thing has worked wonders. It has three outlets on this side, has a cigarette lighter, and it has 4 USB ports. 3 USB A's, one's a fast charging and 1 USB-C, and it has a light. I was thinking about getting the basic one just because I only needed it for my fridge and, you know, charging a few things here and there, but I decided to go with the Pro version, and the Pro version is well worth it. I definitely recommend getting one or something similar if you don't want to do a dual battery, which is kind of hard to fit in a TJ. So if you have a TJ, this will work out perfect. And with the 100 watt solar, which plugs in, sorry for the mess, plugs in right here. This is the plug-in for it. It says it right here. That's what it looks like. And as you see currently, I'm only getting 4 watts because I'm in a shaded area, but my fridge is using about 41, 43, you can say about 45 watts of power. So that's that, and it's been amazing. A lot of people ask me about it, like, oh, is that solar? Yes, it is solar. But that's my setup. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have something to recharge my power bank, and it's been working out great. Alright guys, so this is pretty much what we look like when we're going camping. When we get to our destination, we got our campsite, and we set up. I have my solar usually pointed towards east, because we usually get there early. If not, it don't really matter, but as long as I'm getting sun hitting that solar panel, I'm getting charged, I'm happy. This is the rooftop tent. When it's open, I didn't open up anything. The sunshade and the windows are all closed, but you get the idea. There's the ladder. Then we have our awning. It's at 8 feet out, so that's a pretty good distance. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, and I'm 6 feet. So 8 feet out, 6.5 feet wide. I could walk under it plenty. You can adjust it with the poles. I did this by myself. Usually my fiance helps me out and makes the job much easier and faster, but it can be done by yourself. So yes, this is our setup, and I still have a room that makes this awning. It's a room attachment that pretty much makes the awning a whole enclosed room where you can get out if it's a lot of mosquitoes or bugs like that, you can get out, change your clothes, get in there, chill, set up a table, play not video games, well, you could play video games, but play games, card games usually what we play. But yeah, I'll show you guys the the room next. And what I come to realize, a lot of this stuff, people use the same, I don't know if it's the same manufacturer or just the same design, because I have a Smittybilt rooftop tent, which I could get a different brand and attach something to this little cutout. I can attach a different brand's thing there. I never tried it, but with the awning, I have an ARB awning room. And this is a Tuff stuff awning. So a lot of this stuff is universal. You don't have to buy ARB and have an ARB room. No, I have a Tuff stuff, and I'll show you guys in the future. I have a Tuff stuff awning, and I have an ARB awning room, and it fits perfect. A 8.5 by, no, excuse me, 6.5 by 8 awning will fit a 6.5 by 8 awning room. No, I don't know about every single one, but pretty much, yeah. So I've seen a lot of people on REI saying the Flex Lite Camp Dreamer, or even just the Flex Lite Camp Chair, they said they had a very hard time putting it together. They didn't like that they had to put a chair together. Now, there's a trick that I learned to make it easier, even for not the strongest individual. The trick that I use, let's see if I can get here with one hand. So when you put the chair, when you put the chair part all on each part, each little hook, you want this one to be barely in, just barely. You'll attach it, and then what you would do, you're just going to use leverage and snap it in. I'll show how that looks. This is pretty much where you want to be. I got each one hooked in at the top and at the bottom. So whatever's your strong hand, you can use that one. I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna do the right side. Never did this with holding a camera. I got my GoPro in my hand, but let's see if I can make it happen. You got this part here, right? So you loosen this part up, right? Let's see if I can make this work. I don't know if you can see it. You attach this part here, like so. All right. So now you have it like so. All right. Then you would just use leverage. All you have to do now is press down on this. Press, press, press. Boom, in there. And I did that with one hand with a GoPro in my hand. And there's the setup. Not hard at all. Now, if you try to do it where you have this connected in there and you try to use this and pull the fabric over, you're not going to do it, especially if you're not strong enough. The first time I did it, but even I struggled. All right, so I kind of have been doing the project for a little bit, so I can have my lights, this one and that one. Currently I don't have this one hooked up to it, but I do have my amber lights to it. This one came with its own wiring harness when I bought it years ago, and I finally installed it. So for any of those that's seen those custom fuse relay panels, that's I don't know if you can see, yeah, that's mine right there. So yes, this is my custom lunchbox special relay fuse box. So from, what is it, Overland Bound. I watched his channel. I love his channel. I learned a lot. And oh, this actually fell off. Let's put that bad boy back on. Looks like it got warped from the heat, but it's all right. So custom DIY. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 relays. I have a 12. I should have got a 6, but I was planning for more stuff just in case. I have a 12 fuse Blue Sea fuse box in there. I have 2 bus bars. Now I have this negatively ground switched. Black wire goes to your accessory switch. the blue wire goes to your accessory. And as you can see down there, I have it, boom, mapped out. So then the yellow wire, obviously not used in this case. The white wire goes to 12-volt source, and the red wire is connected to 12 volts as well. So you will use the black wire, which is my green. You'll map it all the way to your switch. When you flip the switch, it will ground the circuit, which will now use that blue wire to send power to your lights. And also, so my green is power on this one because they didn't have it at Lowe's, but I also have it connected to a 100 amp fuse breaker. 100 amp breaker. So if 100 amps anything cause it to go haywire and it goes through that, boom, it trips the breaker, and then boom, power is cut. This will no longer have power. And as you can see, the TJ doesn't have a lot of space to put such items in certain places. So I found a spot. This spot been working wonderful. And that's my custom DIY fuse relay panel box. Overland Bound is where I found how to do this. His setup was a little different because he has a bigger truck than me. And yeah, get out there and do it, guys. It wasn't hard at all. I got all this stuff on Amazon. The fuses that are in there, the blue C, the relays, the connectors, the fuse blocks, everything. I got everything off of Amazon. You can even get the wire off Amazon. I got this wire at Lowe's, but any local hardware store should have wire and fuses. I got them with the heat shrink because I wanted to have, you know, waterproofing. Make sure everything was all good. Alright, bro, so this is pretty much our little setup when we're, you know, at camp. We have two chairs like this. This is the REI Flex Lite Dreamer camp chair. A little bit more expensive than the non-Dreamer, but the Dreamer gives you this nifty little pillow and it's a little bit higher on the back, which you can relax and potentially fall asleep. So that's why we got that one. We actually had the other one, but we traded those in. We swapped them out. Got a good deal on their 20% off. This is also an REI camp table. This is the 2-foot by 2-foot table. Worked plenty of wonders. I say this is one of the best buys I bought from REI. It's beautiful. I use it for work. I use it for school. I use this table pretty much anytime we want. When we're cooking on it, playing games, it just comes in handy. And it's small enough to not take up a lot of space. So usually we have two chairs out here. I only set up one. We have my speaker. We play some, you know, nice jazz or music, or, you know, something nice and beautiful, camp related. And yeah, that's us. That's what we will look like at the campsite. Now, usually when we're at the campsite, I typically will back in, just because I have my rooftop tent coming off the back, not off the side. I kind of like coming off the back. If I had a 4-door Jeep, yeah, it would definitely be coming off the side, but since I have the small 2-door TJ coming off the back, I take up a single parking spot. If I wanted to pop it out, especially when I'm at the beach or something like that, I just back in. I keep the front nose closest to the front of the parking spot, and I pop it off to the back, single space. So nobody can complain until I'm double parking. But usually I probably won't pop the awning unless I'm at the end. And that's a bonus, and I can be under there. And then if I needed to get something and say the weather's kind of not permissible, I'm underneath here. Typically some people will have it on the driver's side, the passenger side, where I kind of have I can be under two things. And it's beautiful. So if I need to get something from the fridge, boom, I got it from the fridge. This is our camp stove. Got this at Big Five for like 30 bucks. Amazing. This guy right here, I recommend it, but it's not recommended to have. But when I tell you, this thing, we made pizza in this, like, you know, blaze size pizza. We did our own little mix. Came out amazing. The first time we used it was actually at the house because we wanted to know how good it worked. And hey, even at the house, if you don't have an oven or your oven's out, put it on the stovetop, turn that bad boy on, crank up the temp until you get 450, throw your pizza in there or whatever else you want to bake, and it actually worked. The crust was crispy. It was delicious. We actually used this yesterday. We went on our date. But yeah, that's us, folks. This is the other chair right here. But forgive the mess. We normally got a few more things in there. This is just me doing stuff over the weekend. But yeah, this is our setup. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. You know, help us with the algorithm. And yeah, that's it. You guys have a great one. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the outdoors.